God, I hate this show. I hate it so very, very much. But hey, look, there are assholes with bats who don't like psychics. That could give me something to hang on to there. What would the societal implications of having a bunch of people with superpowers running around anyway? Especially considering... oh, right. So they smacked this girl around with baseball bats and she still managed to toddle into school the next day?
Well, duh, bats aren't deadly. Next you'll be shocked when people don't die when they're hit with 10,000 volts.
And there's no anti-hate crime legislation at play, since the Brotherhood of Mutants doesn't seem to have taken over the world in this show and everything.
Who would hurt someone with superpowers? No need for laws there. And they can totally defend themselves. Except for their kryptonite, which is apparently baseball bats. It's not like all the blame for the attack would fall on their shoulders if they managed to win the fight that the other people started. And really, it's their own fault for showing off that they have powers to begin with. If they didn't want people to know, they wouldn't have gone out in uniforms or shown off that they had them after all.
Shay, I think the madness has broken your rational mind.
Wait, hang on. Take what I said. Reverse it. Yeah, there. Much, much better. But hey, at least you're almost done. And don't worry, now we're gonna get some action.
That's a word for it. Oh, dear me. So, what's this guy's problem? He hates psychics and wants to knock them about, and calls himself an aura hunter?
Or is he?
Well, considering he's making fog appear and attack people, I think that's a fair conceit. He's got superpowers.
It could be a naturally occurring fog. A naturally occurring attack fog that turns into a human.
Oh man, I should put a stupidity warning on this scene. So let me break it down for you here.
Ooh, me first. So his brother is actually an illusion caused by his powers. And likely out of some sense of self-loathing, his fog brother is anti-psychic. Isn't that brilliant?
Okay, that's a fair conceit, I guess. It's certainly different from the usual, I'm a jerk, therefore we must fight, bits that have peppered the show so far.
私のオーラ特性は霧蒸気で相手を包み込み
There's a beach episode soon. Don't worry.
Oh, well that's nice. And burly man in Speedo!
Oh, come on. It's almost done. And look, more fan service.
Fine. So this show takes the idea of the first girl to the illogical extreme. Much like the last girl in horror movies, the first girl is the first girl that shows up on camera, is the one that is the canon love interest. And this particular show, well, you'll never ever guess, seriously.
Oh, come on. You totally identify with the bland lead.
The tip of my pinky identifies with him. So they get to this point where they finally start getting to a plot. After 24 7-minute episodes of nothing at all, we finally get to a plot. So remember all that time ago at the beginning of the show when we got this massive hint that, hey, he's going to end up with his childhood friend because we're horrifically unoriginal and stuff? Well, it turns out that there is something to all that because it turns out the main character actually saw the other girl.
She cut her hair. Who does that?
In anime, that's a fair conceit. But he still thought he remembered Orina giving him a seashell instead of the redhead using her fire powers. And just like that, he remembers everything with perfect clarity or whatever.
And that whole big plot point about the ADH or Psychic Corporation or whatever the hell it was is just completely dropped. Like a sack of bricks. No continuation, no explanation, no nothing. Aren't you glad I got you to watch this wonderful, awesome, amazing, lovely show?
I knew at this point I had to take a stand. Is there some kind of weird definition of those words that I don't know? Because I speak bullshit and sarcasm pretty fluently.
I want to watch it again!
What manner of twisted creature are you?
I'm Canadian.
Fiend, go back to the shadows! I am a servant of the sacred fire, wielder of the flame of Andor. The dark powers will not avail you. Flame of Udun!
Gandalf dies right there.
He can't die. He's an angel. He just comes back a different color.
Okay, Okay, 1, Gandalf is one of the Astar, not an angel. And 2, we gotta wrap this up. Come on.
Yes, if you want a how-to guide of how not to do everything in an anime or manga, or any kind of story ever, this should be right up your alley. The art is only a few shades off of amateur, the contrast is too high, the colors are washed out and too bright all at once, the compositing of these shots falls apart fast and the plot vanishes. The whole story is a train wreck, and yet completely not, because it never gets far enough to be a train wreck. There's zero momentum or anything to this story, things just kind of happen. Why would you waste time making a story with no traction or momentum to it?
But for as paint by numbers as the show ends up being, the manga actually does go into some weird territory. It's never good by any means, but it's worth checking out just to see just how unusual and strange and hard they tried to shove some sort of plot into this whole idea.
And of course, if you're a slightly deranged Canadian comic book reviewer and want to torture a handsome and ever so giving Midwestern boy, look no further than Psychic Academy. I need to cleanse my palate with something with a little bit more kick to it.
Oh, I have a few more recommendations if you want to hear them.
Oh, hell no.
There goes another one. Why does no one ever want to watch the swimming anime with me? I do not know. This really shouldn't be the motion that you use for groping, guys. This bad motion right here. Not a good idea.